Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is now week 5 in the NFL, so we're back with my weekly NFL predictions. If you enjoy the content, make sure you do like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I'm hoping to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2025, so if you can help me get there, I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get on with my week 5 prediction. So as always, we start with the previous week recap. A lot less red than last week, one yellow, which I hate ties. It just ruins everything, but it is what it is. So my Seahawks beat the Cardinals, hung on until the very end there, so I'm glad the Seahawks could pull it off. Steelers beat the Vikings. I said it about the Vikings. They came back right back down to earth and showed us exactly who they are with Carson Wentz at quarterback. Falcons beat the Commanders. Definitely a bounce back game for them. Love to see that. Bills beat the Saints. It was closer than I thought it would be, but I think the Bills were in control pretty much the entire thing. Lions beat the Browns. Yeah, pretty predictable, honestly. Patriots beat the Panthers. Yeah, that one was kind of a slaughter. It is what it is. Giants beat the Chargers. Upset of the week last week. It was kind of the Chargers just charging it. Eagles beat the Buccaneers. That was a really good game. Enjoyed watching that. Texans beat the Titans. Titans are in shambles. I don't know how they have not fired their head coach yet, but it is what it is. Falcons beat the Colts. Falcons. Rams beat the Colts. Yeah, Rams they look dominant on both ends of the game. They just look really good, and the Colts were making a lot of mental errors. Jaguars beat the 49ers. Yeah, 49ers are just injury riddled like they were last year, so it's very, very not fun to see. Chiefs beat the Ravens. Yeah, Ravens, I don't know what is happening to them. They're kind of just in shambles right now. Bears beat the Raiders. Yeah, Raiders Geno's throwing too many interceptions, and it's just awful. It's awful to see. Packers and Cowboys tied 40-40. It is just awful. I hate it. I really hate ties. But I think it's a win-win for both teams. Cowboys didn't lose to Micah, and Micah didn't lose to the Cowboys, so it is what it is. Dolphins beat the Jets. Yeah, I barely watched this game. It was just not fun to watch. Breece Hall just really isn't being utilized, and I don't know what the Dolphins really are. And Tyreek Hill's out now, so it's awful. And finally, the Broncos beat the Bengals 28-3. Yeah, Bengals are in shambles. Zach Taylor, I genuinely think he is on the hot seat, but 11-4-1 on last week's pick, so not too shabby at all. And now after week 4, 41-22-1. So I hate the tie, but it is what it is, and it is there. So now moving over to my weekly top 5 ranking. So I think most people have the top 5 pretty cemented. It's just depending on the order. Number 5, I do have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are just so good if they could just get everybody back healthy. Their defense is really good. Their offense is buzzing. They have a lot of key, great players on their roster. I really like what I'm seeing if they can all come back and be healthy and playing together by the end of the year. Number 4, I have the Rams. I think Rams are just dominant on both ends of the field. I just think they are playing extremely good football, and I love what I'm seeing from the Rams. From an impartial person. As a Seahawk fan, I hate exactly what I'm saying from the Rams, but we'll be impartial today. Number 3, we do have the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are really good. I think they've had a great bounce back, and I really like what I'm seeing from the Lions. I think their offense is good when it is buzzing, when they are getting the ball to their playmakers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs. I think they're playing extremely good football, and if Goff is not throwing the game away, and their defense is really good when healthy as well. Number 2 is the Eagles. I think the Eagles are really good. They just find ways to win. You can say what you want about their offense. Their offense is kind of lackluster at times, but they find ways to win, and it's exactly what the Chiefs were doing last year. And I had the Chiefs pretty much up here in the rankings every single week too. So yeah, it is what it is. You can hate it, but Eagles are finding ways to win, which is exactly what you need to do. Number 1 is the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills are the best team right now. I think when they show up with their best, they are playing the best football in the league. Josh Allen is playing great for the most part. Their defense is really good. James Cook is looking like a monster. I do think he is probably a top 3 running back in the league right now, so just looking really, really good. And we have 4 teams on a bye, so this is the first bye week, so just these 4 teams are not playing. The Atlanta Falcons, Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, and Pittsburgh Steelers all on byes. None of them playing this week. That does lead us into Thursday Night Football. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the LA Rams. I am very excited to see this game, just to see what the Niners are really capable of. So for the Niners, so many injuries. And just without Nick Bosa, he is just a dominant factor on their defensive line, and without him, they are getting zero pass rush, and they've had so many injuries at wide receiver, so it just feels like they have nothing but number twos out there. Ricky Pearsall, I'm pretty sure he injured his knee last week. I think he's projected to play this week, but we will see. This team is just kind of in shambles, so I could see them slipping and probably losing a couple of games in a row. So we'll see about this one. Next to the Rams, how is Puka Nacua always this open? I genuinely don't understand it. He is a phenomenal talent, and I love what I'm seeing from Puka, as, like I said, an impartial person. But yeah, I genuinely don't understand how he's always this open, and he's just consistently getting over 100 yards every single week. So yeah, keep it up, Puka. You're looking phenomenal. Stafford also looks phenomenal. He looked great last week, and I was really impressed. When Stafford is not intentionally throwing the ball to the other team, which he is notorious for doing, he is looking really, really good. And I'm excited to see the potential for this team. So hopefully they can continue for their sake. And I think if this team had a consistent run game, I'm just not a big fan of Kyron Williams as a football player, but I think if they had a consistent run game, I think this team would be the favorites in the NFC. I think they could have beaten the Eagles. I think this team thinks that they should be undefeated right now, but unfortunately they just aren't right now. So we will see. I do have the Rams in this one. I got the Rams 28, 49ers 20. I just think the Rams are way more established, and I think they have a clear identity of who they are, and they are not injured pretty much at all. Next is our early window game. It is our London game. It is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Cleveland Browns. So Minnesota playing two overseas games in a row, so pretty cool for them. But starting with the Vikings, I think their O-line is going to be a struggle bus this week. I think the Browns are going to be living in the backfield. JJ McCarthy is still out, so he will not be playing this week, and I don't think Carson Wentz is it. I think Carson Wentz is going to be running for his life, and knock on wood, I hope he does not get injured, because this defensive line is ferocious that they are about to go against. I think their defense is fun to watch, but they're really inconsistent. I think they have a lot of really big, good, flashy plays, but other than that, I'm just not really seeing it. I know Brian Flores is kind of like a guru around the league, but I'm just not really quite impressed, or as impressed as I think I should be. I'm just very middle of the pack on this Vikings team. As for the Browns, you got to bench Joe Flacco. He is dull. There's nothing happening on your offense, and I think you saw what Jackson Dart did for the New York Giants. You gotta figure something out. You have to get in one of your rookies, get them some playing time, see what they look like. I genuinely don't understand why they aren't doing this. I think Judkins is exactly who they need at running back right now. He looks like Nick Chubb before Nick Chubb got injured and got traded away, or not traded away, but walked in free agency. So I really like what I'm seeing from Judkins. It's gonna need to continue for this team to be remotely anywhere close to mid. I think their defense is just too good for them to suck this badly. I think you guys have potential. Put in one of your rookies, figure it out, make sure it happens. And this is probably an upset. I do have the Browns on this one. I got the Browns 20, Vikings 17. I just don't expect the Vikings to score very many points, just because they haven't really impressed me lately. And I think the Browns defense is going to be living in the backfield. Now moving over to our early window games on Sunday. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Indianapolis Colts. So for the Raiders, Geno is unfortunately exactly who I thought he was. Geno is the guy who will always try to make the Superman play, and that causes him to throw 3 interceptions in a game twice this year already. I don't think Geno's bad, and I've never said Geno is bad. I think Geno just tries way, way too hard, and you live and die by it. I like Geno. I'm sure he's a fine person, but yeah, it's kind of just what you live by when you have Geno Smith as your quarterback. I think Genti finally showed out last week. They need this every single week consistently, or this team will struggle. They need their run game to show up, and show up often. So we'll see if they can do that. They need to figure out how to have a consistent passing game, though. It's genuinely the only critique I have. I think their defense is fine. I think their defense gets stops. Max Crosby is a tremendous talent, and he is the heart and soul of that defense. The secondary could use a little bit of work, but I really think if they can figure out the passing game and get Genti going every single week, I think this team is damn near unbeatable. Next for the Colts, Daniel Jones with 2 picks. I think he was fine last week. I still think it was kind of just a lot of mental errors last week, a lot of dumb mistakes that cost him that win. and they had way too many penalties. 11 penalties for 88 yards. I think that's what I saw. It's just, you cannot do that. There was a couple of touchdowns that got pulled off the board because of dumb penalties. I think this team is fine. I think they're a good team. I think they're probably top 10, if not, top 12, around there. So I really like what I'm seeing from the Colts, and I think they will have a bounce back this week. That's why I do have the Colts in this one. I got the Colts 27, Raiders 23. I think I'm off the Raiders bandwagon for right now. I didn't think they were going to be phenomenal this year, but after the performance last week and the week before that, I'm a little worried about this team. Next is the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. Who is watching this game? I feel bad for anybody going to this game. That's just awful to see. But starting with the Giants, Jackson Dart, he is your guy. Probably. He played decently last week. Didn't pass for a lot, but he's a rookie. He's getting his growing pains out. So I like what I saw from Jackson Dart. I like seeing him in the running game, and I like the energy and the fire that he brought to this team. Hopefully he can continue that against a New Orleans Saints team that has pretty much given up on the year. And I think they need to start by feeding Scatabo. I think he looks really, really good, and I think he's exactly what I expected him to look like when he was coming out of college. I think he was a beat you in the face running back, and I think he looks exactly like he did when he was in college. And unfortunately, Malik Neighbors is out for the year. It really sucks. I hate seeing that. He's just so young and just doesn't get to play the game that he loves. So, just really unfortunate. Next is the Saints. They have way too many weapons on this offense for them to suck this badly. I just don't know what else I can say about Spencer Rattler at this point. I think this team, I'm not saying that they could win the Super Bowl if they had a better quarterback, but I think they could, kind of be around 500, maybe sneak into the playoffs as like a, 10-7 team, 9-8 team if everybody's really shit this year. But their secondary is a problem. I just don't trust anything about their offense because of their quarterback and because of the offensive play calling. I just don't trust anything that they're doing. I got the Giants in this one. I got the Giants 23, Saints 21. I'm not confident about this, so I would take this one with a grain of salt. This is a stay away for me. I would not bet on this game whatsoever. That does lead us into the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Jets. So this is going to be a fun one. So for the Cowboys, I never thought their offense was a problem. I think Javonte Williams is really, really good for this team. I think he is breathing a new life into their run game. I like what I'm seeing. Still no CD this week. I'm pretty sure they said he's still going to be out this week. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about this defense because they just cannot generate a pass rush. So they did better last week for sure against the Packers, but if they can figure out something on defense where they can get into the backfield, get that pass rush going, then maybe this team can be, about 500. I just think this team goes as far as Dak can carry them. Next to the Jets, I think this team makes zero sense. I think you have so many players that are just probably 5 stars, like top of the line. You have Garrett Wilson. Some people would say Sauce Gardner's there. I wouldn't say Sauce Gardner's there. He's just not what I thought he was going to be at this point in his career. Because when I look at like Pat Surtain looks super good. But anyway, I'm forgetting my point. So they have so many talented players on this team. You have Breece Hall. You have Garrett Wilson. You have a lot of talent on this team. I don't understand how you are this bad. How is your defense this bad when you have players like Sauce Gardner, where everybody tells me he is one of the best corners in the league? I really don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe they can prove it to me, but this team makes no sense, and I really just dislike watching them every single week because they shouldn't be this bad. And I just don't understand what more Justin Fields can do. If you're asking for Justin Fields to get benched or something like that, you're not watching these games. Justin Fields is the only thing keeping this team afloat in the games, regardless of the score. So it is what it is. I got the Cowboys in this one. I got the Cowboys 30, Jets 23. I don't expect the Cowboys to lose this game, but we'll see. Our next game is the Denver Broncos at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be a good one, too. I'm excited to watch this game. So for the Broncos, I don't get why they pass the ball this often. When Bo Nix is dropping back and he's passing the ball over 40 times a week, why? I think your run game is fine. I think you have decent running backs. Why are you running the ball this much? It doesn't make sense. Passing the ball this much. It doesn't make sense to me. Run the damn ball. I think Courtland Sutton, he showed up the last 2 weeks in a row, and I love what I'm seeing. Keep getting Courtland Sutton the ball. He's on my fantasy team. Please continue to just feed Courtland Sutton. He looks really good, and this team is playing extremely good football. even though I really don't like their passing this often. I think their defense is really good. I think it's really good. When they play extremely well, they are probably a top 5, maybe a top 6 defense. I like what I'm seeing from the Broncos. I just need them to continue to do it consistently. Next is the Eagles. So, like I said in the previous week recap, they just do whatever it takes to win. It doesn't look pretty. It almost never looks pretty, except against the Rams in the second half. This team has looked woeful on offense. Just not fun to watch. Nothing good about it on offense. But hey, they're finding ways to win. So can you really fault them? I think their O-line needs to be better. They need to get this run game going. They need to get Saquon going before they start going against better teams. So we need to see it. We absolutely need to see it. I do have the Eagles in this one. I got the Eagles 24, Broncos 23. This is also a stay away from me. I would not bet on this game whatsoever because this one absolutely could go either way. Next, the Miami Dolphins at the Carolina Panthers. Another game where I feel bad for you if you are going to watch this game. These two teams are just in shambles right now. So starting with the Dolphins, unfortunately, Tyreek Hill, like Malik Neighbors, is out for the year. So I'm very sad to see. You hate that for him. Hopefully they both have speedy recoveries. I liked what I saw from Achane last week. I know he had, I think it was around 19 carries, and he didn't cross over 100 yards, but I like the consistency of continuing to feed your running back. He got a lot of his yards pretty much in garbage time when they were just running out the clock, but I like that they don't give up on the run game, so continue to do so. And don't get it twisted, no matter what I'm saying about this team, like even the potential that I'm seeing with parts of their offense, this team is still dog shit. They are still ass. They are not good. This is not a good football team. And I hate to say it, I think their head coach is probably on the hot seat. If not, he's going to get canned at the end of this season. But I do not like what I'm seeing from the Dolphins for the most part. As for the Panthers, you have to figure out your offense. It's so hot and cold. And the only thing I can think of to help you at this point is fire your head coach. And it's either fire your head coach or you need to trade Bryce Young, because unfortunately I don't think Bryce Young can carry this dog shit franchise much further. So yeah, I just genuinely would do one of those two things: either trade Bryce Young or fire your head coach at this point, because it is not working. This formula that you guys are trying to do is not working. And I also don't understand your offensive play calling. Why is Chuba Hubbard getting 10 carries? And I understand it's, the game got out of hand last week and you probably were trying to figure something else to do, but I think it's absolutely moronic to only give him 10 carries. It is dog shit offensive play calling. Like I said, so these games between like dog shit teams, I really don't know who to pick. I think it's just you're picking between two pieces of shit, in my opinion. Oops. So I have the Dolphins in this one. I got the Dolphins 28, Panthers 27. I hope the Panthers win, but I don't know. This team is just, both these teams are bad. They're just both bad. Next, the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams just struggle bussing right now. So for the Texans, CJ finally had a decent game. I think this is the first decent game I've seen him since probably the playoffs last year, and where I think he had a decent game. But yeah, CJ just has not been playing well, so we need to see this consistently. Their defense finally showed up, but it was against a rookie quarterback and a dog shit team in the Tennessee Titans. So it is what it is. I don't really know what else to say about it. You finally played well, so I just need them to continue to do so. I don't think this defense is bad. I just need to see them do it consistently. So we'll see. I think their offensive line is the death of this team. I think their run game is non-existent because their offensive line is shit. They do not know what they're doing offensively at all, and I'm just kind of shocked because I think CJ is a great talent. I think this offense has a lot of potential. They have some injuries, but the way their offensive line is coached is just woeful and abysmal. I hate it. Next is Baltimore. Lamar's status is uncertain for this week. I've seen reports that he could come back. I've seen reports that he'll be out 2 to 3 weeks. So it's kind of up in the air. I'm recording this Wednesday morning, and I have no update as of right now. He is on my fantasy team, so I'm kind of in shambles too. So we'll see what Lamar's got, if he can get going this week. I think it is honestly time to either fire your head coach or you need to figure out how to win. I think your defense is awful. I genuinely think it's awful. Your defense makes no sense to me. Your offense, when you have Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, what's his name? Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. I think Isaiah Likely is back now. You have way too much talent on your roster for you to be this shit at scoring the football. And I know Kansas City's good, and I'm not faulting them for losing to the Chiefs necessarily, but it makes absolutely no sense for you guys to be this bad. How do you have Derrick Henry on your roster and you do not know how to get him the ball more often or open up those holes in the offense so he can get good carries? And I understand Derrick Henry's had a fumbling problem this year so far, but he is your bell cow back. He is a tremendous talent. You have to figure it out. You have to. And this one's hard. This one's really hard. If Lamar plays, I think the Ravens will win for sure. But even without Lamar, I still think the Ravens got this. I'm a little worried about this pick, but I got the Ravens 20, Texans 19. This one could go either way for sure. Next is the late window of games. We have the Tennessee Titans at the Arizona Cardinals. So for the Titans, fire everybody, man. Cam Ward, he has to be better, and I'm not saying Cam Ward has been playing super great, but I don't think he's been that bad. He just needs to play better. I know he's a rookie, so you need to give him some grace, but you need to fire this coaching staff. It's awful. It's awful, and they are not doing a single favor for him, and I think it's done. I genuinely think this team is done. They will probably have the number 1 or 2 pick in this draft, which is fine. Go get a wide receiver. Go get a great offensive lineman in this upcoming draft. So, yeah, you just need to fire everybody. Restart. This team is trash. Next to the Cardinals, I think you need to show up for the entire game. I think against the Seahawks, you didn't show up for 3 quarters and then turned it on in the 4th quarter, which has been consistent for the 4 games that we've seen from this Cardinals team. So we just need to see them be consistent. Show up the entire game. This offense just doesn't wow me in any way. And I know Marvin Harrison Jr. is great. Trey McBride is great, but they need to, I don't know, figure it out. It's really weird to see this offense sometimes. I think they had absolutely no run game last week, and I think they will continue to have absolutely no run game. They are really missing James Conner. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery as well. Too many injuries this year already. It really sucks to see, but they need to figure out their run game with, I think their backup is Benson, so they need to figure it out. And I just need to see more from this offensive line. The Seahawks were living in the backfield for a majority of the game last week, so, man, I just think the Seahawks are really good, so it is what it is, but I just need to see more from this team. I don't think the Titans have a prayer, though. I think the Cardinals got this handedly. I got the Cardinals 31, Titans 20. I do not expect this game to be close. Next is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at my Seattle Seahawks. So, for the Buccaneers, the injury bug is really hitting this team really hard, and it really sucks to see. Mike Evans will be out. Chris Godwin came back last week, but they have a lot of injuries on offense, especially their offensive line. Their defense just very, very injury-riddled right now, so hopefully they can get their guys back before it's too late. I think their defensive line has to be great this week. I think the Seahawks are going to apply a lot of pressure to Baker, so we will see what they look like. The secondary, I was about to start talking about the Seahawks, sorry. So, yeah, their defensive line has to be really good. I think they just need a consistent run game from Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving is a very explosive running back, and I like what I see, but I just think it's fewer and far between lately. As for the Seahawks, I think you need to stop playing conservatively. I think you need to play for the win. I think you need to try to score as many points as you can and try to get your offense going for 4 quarters. And I do not see that with this team. And I hope to God we see it this week. So hopefully, I think you need to bench Woolen. I don't think you need to make sure he's not getting any time on the field, but whenever he's on the field, he is a liability. He just does not play the game the way it's supposed to be played. He just goes for those like highlight plays way too often, or he'll miss his man, and he looks slow. I don't know what happened to Tariq Woolen, but he just does not mesh in this defensive scheme that we are trying to do. I just want to see more from Kenneth Walker, man. I think Kenneth Walker's really good. I think he's the best running back we have on our roster, but I think it's fewer and far between where I see those great plays lately. So I just want to see it from him. I got the Buccaneers in this one, guys. I got the Buccaneers 24, Seahawks 23. We'll see, but Seahawks don't play well at home for some damn reason, but we play great away. The East Coast to West Coast is kind of iffy sometimes, but we got the Buccaneers in this one. Next is the Detroit Lions at the Cincinnati Bengals. So for the Lions, defense is really great. I really love what I'm seeing from this defense. I think this team is just really well-rounded, and I think if Goff just does not F it up, I think it's going to be really, really good for this team. You have to keep feeding Jahmyr Gibbs, though. Jahmyr Gibbs is probably the best player on your roster. He is super, super talented, super good. Find ways to get him involved in the passing game. I think this team is really, really good and super hard to stop. Next to the Bengals. I'm calling for a lot of coaches' jobs this week, but I think you either got to fire Zach Taylor or you have to go get a decent backup quarterback. Go get Jameis. He's not doing anything over there. I don't know. Maybe go get Russell Wilson. He's probably, I don't know if he's available, but figure it out. Go get somebody, anybody. Anybody's better than Jake Browning right now. Jake Browning has scored a total of, 16 points in 2 weeks. 16. Jesus Christ. I just don't understand what this team is doing. So either fire Zach Taylor or go get a decent backup quarterback. Figure it out. I think you have way too many great players on offense to suck this badly. You see the players and their frustration on the sideline. This team is awful, and it's awful to watch. As soon as Joe Burrow went out, it's like, oh, guess the season's chalked. They were 2-0, now they're 2-2, and guess what? After this week, they're probably going to be 2-3. And guess what? They're just going to continue to spiral downward because this team refuses to do anything good without Joe Burrow. And I think the offense sucks without Joe Burrow, but the defense sucks just as much. They have a lot of talented guys on defense, but their defensive scheme is awful. Their secondary is trash. I just hate what I'm seeing. Defensive line, pretty decent, but everything else about this team is just woeful, and it's so annoying. I got the lines big. I got the lines 35, Bengals 13. I don't expect the Bengals to score more than 13 points in this game because Jake Browning is not it. I don't know if you need me to tell you that, but he's not it. You need to go get a decent backup quarterback, Bengals. I'm pissed. I hate this. I like the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. So I want this team to be successful. I want them to go to the playoffs and beat the Chiefs so we can get a different AFC team in the damn playoffs. Anyway, sorry for the tirade. Next to the Washington Commanders at the LA Chargers. So for the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, he's expected to return this week. I'm excited to see it. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he brings a new life to this offense. And man, Marcus Mariota, every single time he runs the ball, I am just hands on head praying to God he doesn't fumble the ball. So Jaden Daniels needs to come back as soon as possible, and I think this team can start getting some wins under their belts. I still hate this run game. I don't understand what they're trying to do with the run game. They continue to feed it to just less than quality backs, in my opinion. So I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing, and I really don't like it. I think their defense has to be better. They have to figure it out. You have a ton of veterans. You need to figure out how to stop teams. Atlanta got everything they wanted last week. Defense has to figure it out. As for the Chargers chargered it last week. Every single time you have a little bit of faith in the Chargers, they charger it, and they really did last week. So it is what it is. I think their offensive line was awful last week. I know they have injuries to Joe Alt and I can't remember the other guy's name. Slater? I think it's Slater. Anyway, they have a lot of injuries to their offensive line, so it makes sense that they were bad, but they have to figure it out. Harbaugh has to figure out what to do with this offensive line. I think their defense is really, really good. I really love what I see from this defense. Their offense has to be better. You have to find ways to score points. You need to make sure that Justin Herbert is involved in the run game as well. I think you need to use him a little bit better, similar to what Josh Allen does, where not necessarily always quarterback design runs, but he's a big guy. Get him involved. Make sure he's sliding so he's not getting destroyed. But yeah, I got the Chargers in this one, guys. I got the Chargers 27, Commanders 24. This one could go either way, but I'm definitely leaning the Chargers right now. Now moving over to Sunday Night Football, we have the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. So for the Patriots, rare Stephon Diggs game last week. So yeah, I guess he's still got a little bit left in the tank. He doesn't wow me whatsoever, but it is what it is. They need to figure out this run game, though. I really don't understand. Stevenson is not my favorite running back, but I think he's serviceable. You need to just make sure you're getting him carries. And like I said, as soon as they got Christian Gonzalez back, this defense shows up. Granted, it was against the Panthers, and the Panthers are dog shit, but hey, Christian Gonzalez shows up, and this defense turns into a new team. As for the Bills, James Cook is the best running back thus far, and I know that's probably very, very out there to say, but yeah, I think he's the best running back in the league so far this year. I really like what I'm seeing from James Cook, so I hope we continue to see it. And I think this team sleepwalks through games. They really do. They went against the Saints, and they kind of just, yeah, we're going to score points. We're not worried. We're just going to figure it out. And they did. And that's exactly what they should be doing in the regular season. I think this team is good. I don't know what else to say. I think if they if they can stay healthy, I think this team is going to probably be back in the divisional round to the AFC Championship game like they always are. Hopefully somebody else can beat the Chiefs. I think if somebody else beats the Chiefs, I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl and probably going to win the Super Bowl. So we'll see. This is a trap game, ladies and gentlemen. I would not bet on this game whatsoever. I'm saying I got the Bills 28, Patriots 24, but this is a trap game. So be very, very careful betting on this one. And finally, we are at Monday Night Football. It is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is actually a fun game. I'm excited to watch this on Monday. So for the Chiefs, Xavier Worthy is their best player. And I know they have Mahomes on their team, and I know Mahomes finally looked like himself last week against a woefully awful Ravens team, but I think Xavier Worthy is exactly what they need. He is the burst of energy that this offense needs to get going, and I really like what I saw from him last week. They still have no run game whatsoever, and I hate that. So they need to figure it out because I don't know. It's probably enough to make it to the Super Bowl though, and I hate to say that. Next to the Jaguars, why are you not feeding Travis Etienne more? He is so good. He looks great every single time he touches the ball. He never goes down. He just hates getting taken down. I just love what I'm seeing from Etienne. Get him the ball more. Trevor Lawrence looks miserable though. He is super frustrated. He's like waving his arms around. He's waving off his head coach. He's just doing all this weird shit. And I'm just like, do you like football? I don't understand what's going on. He just looks miserable every single time. And they're winning games, but he just does not look like he's having fun. And I think their defense is annoyingly good. The reason I say annoyingly good, they run to the ball. And anytime somebody is up and one of their teammates is tackling them and they're stood up, you see 4 or 5 other Jaguars just going in trying to rip the ball out. They are annoyingly good. Their defensive line is very, very fun to watch because they live in the backfield. I love what I see from this Jaguars team, and I hope they get a shit ton of sacks this week against the Chiefs, but it's the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs in this one, guys. I got the Chiefs 27, Jaguars 24. I pray to God I'm wrong about that last one, guys. I really, really hope I am, but I don't know. I'm just giving my picks, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your predictions. Let me know your favorite teams. Let me know all that stuff in the comment section down below. I've been Rogine. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.